Hi. So why does retiring early feel different when you've got a child still at school? And the one thing I don't see talked about very much in early retirement or any content out there that I've been looking at is what changes when you still have a child at school. Most people, as I said before, look at all the data in terms of the financial side of it. Some people go on feelings and emotions, but I can't say I've seen anybody mention someone looking at early retirement while they still have a school age child. And for me, that changes things quite a lot, not just emotionally, but also practically. So I'm 57, almost 58, and my son's 13 and he's nearly 14. His birthday's around the same sort of time as mine. I generally work from home most of the time, so I'm around more than I used to be. I used to go off into the office. So I'm not commuting, and I get to see him before he goes to school and when he gets home from school. So retirement doesn't suddenly mean I'd be with him all day, different to what I am now, because most of the day he'd be at school anyway. And that's something I had to be honest with myself about. Retirement sounds like more time, but when your child is at school all day, a lot of that time is relatively empty. I also realised how much the school calendar quietly limits what retirement would actually look like. Unlike most people that retire without school age children, you can't just decide to go away midweek on a whim. You can't be spontaneous. You're still tied to term times and routines, morning routines and evening routines. So a lot of the freedom that people imagine with retirement just doesn't exist when your life is still shaped around school terms. Then there's a part that people don't really like saying out loud. Money feels different when someone still depends on you. Sometimes I see people saying you reduce your expenditure quite a bit. Well, you think about it differently with a child. My son's expensive, and I don't say that negatively. I like being able to give him experiences, holidays, days out, doing things together, and kind of things that he likes. I don't retire into a version of life where I'm constantly saying we can't more often than I want to. So for me, retiring feels like freedom, though, and I really do want that. But stopping work also removes that safety net. I said safety net before, but it does. While I'm still working, everything feels reversible. Once you stop, it doesn't. So what I mean by that is while I'm contemplating retirement, looking at retirement, it's, and this is, I think, true whether you're looking at a school-age child or not, you're not done it yet. So your whole process is still reversible. I'm tweaking dates all the time. I said that, and I think most people do that as well. So everything is still in that stage where I can reverse it, change my date, look at different things, such as my son. But once you make that leap, not reversible anymore. And that's where the discomfort comes in for me. It's not fear of retirement itself. It's the fear of getting it wrong when someone else still relies so heavily upon you. I think if my son was 18, this decision would be much easier. Not because I'd care less, but because dependency changes how much risk we as human beings are willing to take. And that's the truth of it. I don't have a huge amount of ambition left when it comes to work. I've kind of made my decision. I was a very ambitious employee and pushed myself. But I think now don't want to say the word settled, but I have kind of gone, I'm not looking at becoming a director of the company. I'm not looking at taking on so much more stress. So I've kind of, my job is stressful enough as it is. I don't want to add to that. I'm not trying to climb anything anymore. But I do still feel that responsibility to model security, to be present without creating any uncertainty. And if retirement went wrong financially, the person I'd feel I let down the most would be my son. And that's what keeps me cautious. And that's what I'm still trying to work through in my mind. I'm not saying you shouldn't retire early, you've still got a child at school. That's not what I'm saying here at all. What I'm saying is that decision carries a different weight for all of us, depending on how old our child or children are, and also, I guess, the ages of them. So my son's 13, nearly 14. There's still a few years that he's going to be very dependent, and we want to give him that life. So that's something that I'm working through. And for me, that weight is real. So that's where I am at the moment. I don't know how that feels. I just felt like I needed to do this video because I just don't see it out there. And I'm sure we're all going through this. But anyway, have a great day.